Okay, so where were we? Yeah, here. So currently this div is acting as a container. Okay, inside this we'll have the centered content, which I currently showed you all, okay, in the previous example. But let's see it again. Okay, have you all seen a login form? The actually the box is in exact center. Let me just show you example. This website is developed by me currently. If let's clear the cache that I'm not logged in. See, how is it appearing? It's appearing in the exact center. Now how do we do this? Okay, let's actually create this. Okay, so in order to create this, see, currently I have a container, okay, which is acting as the entire page, okay, which will actually take the whole width and height of the page. Okay, so in order to give this the whole width and height of the page, what we will do, inside the head tag we'll first pass the style tag. Okay, we'll pass the style tag and we'll remove the by default margin and padding. Okay, shall we give it in body or HTML? Anywhere it will work, no worries. Padding 0 and margin 0. Now if I don't remove this margin and padding, what will happen? If you see the colors here, okay, it's expanded in the entire page. Okay, but if we don't remove the padding and margin by default, some spacing will be here and white space will be shown here. Okay, that will look ugly. So in order to just prevent that, we are using this. Let's use the Arial Helvetica fonts. Okay, and then in the perfect center, what we will do in the perfect center in the perfect center will first of all give the display as flex. Okay, justify content we need as center, as we can see here. Okay, it's vertically in the center, or shall I create the box first? It will help you all to see it visibly. So first let's create the box, div.login container. Okay, now what is this login container? What will be this login container? This transparent box which you see here. Okay, div.login container, and let's pass some stylings to it. Is equal to let's say width will be 350 pixels, height will be 450 pixels, and background will be light blue for now. Okay, so see, currently we have the box, okay, and it had a rounded border also, border radius 10 pixels, done. Okay, and after that now we have the box. Okay, now what we need to do, first of all we need to align the item vertically in the center and also horizontally in the center. So in the perfect center div we will give the display as flex. Okay, width has 100%, but height will be in view height. Okay, see, still nothing will happen. Okay, what is happening here is perfect center. Currently if we don't give this height of 100%, see, what will happen is it will take that much height whatever content it has. Okay, so currently it will take this much height only. For visualizing that, we will use a background color light blue. Now see, let's use some other color. Actually box has that color already. See, as you can see here, whatever content it has, whatever the content's height is, it's taking, the outer div is also taking that much space. Okay, so in order to make the outer div take whole space of the screen, what we'll do, we'll use 100 view height. Okay, now you see it's taking the entire space. Okay, now which div are we talking about? This is the parent div. Okay, we are talking about. Okay, we don't need this background color because it was just for visualization purpose. Next, what we want to do is align the items. Okay, the children in the center. So as we studied the align item center, justify content center, it got aligned. Okay, now next our task is to create the actual login form. Okay, now see, here comes the part flex direction column. Okay, we'll use the flex direction as column. Why? Because if we use inside this form display flex normal with the default property as row, each and everything we see here, like the welcome back, sign into your account, each and everything will be in the row format. Okay, each and everything will be displayed in the horizontal direction. Okay, which we don't want, which will look messy. Okay, so let's go ahead, and first of all we will give an h3 of welcome back. Okay, got this one. And after this we'll give some styling and make the font size, let's say 20 pixels. Still it's less, let's go 28 pixels. Now it's okay. Now inside this, see what is the problem currently. After that we have a p tag. Okay, sign into your account. So for that we can use this, we can simply use the p tag. Okay, sign in to your account. Okay, now see, this is also appearing good. Okay, but we need a display flex. Okay, as soon as we apply a display flex, what will happen? See, now everything is appearing in a horizontal direction. Okay, also after that what we have, two inputs. Okay, with labels. So later on we'll create the labels. First let's simply create input as email. See what is happening here, each and everything is getting aligned in the horizontal direction. Okay, and type will be password here. See, do we want this? Okay, or do we want this? And what is the solution if we want this? Can anyone tell me? Just suggest me. How do we align the items, all the items which are currently in horizontal direction, how do you align the items in a vertical direction? What do we do here? What do we apply? We just need to apply one line of CSS. What is that line? Can anyone tell me? Okay, no worries. Let me tell you all. See, currently as I told you, what was the default property of display flex, that it aligns all the items in a horizontal direction. Okay, so inside this login container or the blue box we gave the display flex, due to which all the items or the children items are getting aligned in the horizontal direction. Now if we want that all the children should be aligned in the vertical direction, we'll give the flex direction as column. Okay, now see, each and everything is being aligned in a vertical direction. Okay, and everything will be same, like if we want the items to be in the center, we will simply give align items in center. Okay, see, now the align items are in center. Okay, but why is not the input in the center? Because the form itself acts as a div. Okay, if we give the styling in this form also, to give the styling in this form also, see, display as flex, see, now it's also acting as a flex box. Okay, and it's getting the items aligned horizontally by default. In order to change this also, we'll simply apply the same property here also. Page direction is column. Okay, now each and everything is center. Okay, sign into your account, we made that. Next, what we want, a button. Okay, sign in button. We can create the button here only. Let's use all those default properties and submit button. Now why I used all this default property, because we don't have a relation with the flexbox. Okay, currently we are understanding the flexbox. These all CSS properties are just for designing the button. Okay, make the button look good. Okay, these are simple properties. Width will be 100%. Okay, or the parent height, parent width, and height will be 40 pixels, and background color will be specific blue. Color, text color will be white. Border will be none. Okay, because buttons have a default property of border, as they have a default border. Okay, if you see here, border black. So in order to remove that, we will use border none. Okay, and we give the border radius of 5 pixels, and whenever we hover on this, see there is a pointer. Okay, due to this property of CSS. So this is the button. Okay, and let's reduce the height of this outer container. We don't want this much height. Let's make it 350 pixels only. Okay, welcome back and sign into your account. Okay, so font size 20 pixels, sign into your account. Okay, now what we want some gaps here. Okay, so in the form we will simply have a gap of 10 pixels. Okay, internal gap between the items. Okay, what are the children's of the form? It is both the input and the button. Okay, so we give the gap. Okay, I want the margin from top. I want to separate it from top, so simply get 30 pixels of margin. Is it available? 20 pixels. Okay. See, and after that, sign into your account. We need a labels also. Okay, so let's add the labels here. Label for, let's say, email. Okay, ID as email. Inside the label, email. Okay, and here also same thing, label for password. Okay, so see, but the thing is that if we applied here gap, the gaps are being applied here also. Okay, between the label and inputs also. We don't want that. Okay, so what we can do is remove this gap currently and add some stylings here. We'll give margin 10 pixels and 0. Okay, so what will happen, see, we are giving the margin only in y-axis. Okay, currently we are not looking in the x-axis. Currently x-axis is 0. Okay, 0 margin, so there is no margin applied in the left and right. Okay, Same thing we can do in another input also. Here done. Okay, after this we got this. Okay, and after this what we want is to decorate the labels. Okay, so you can directly target the labels. Okay, still font size is not looking good. Let's get 14 pixels. Okay, and we already applied the margin, so we don't need this margin. Okay, already at 500 works. Okay, so this is our very basic login form, okay, which we created using display flex. Okay, flexbox. Okay, a very basic one. If you all further want, you can go and design the inputs also. Okay, like this. See, now the inputs are also looking good. Okay, and also what you can do is you can apply pseudo classes here, and remove the by default property which is appearing here whenever we focus on this. See, now the border has gone. Okay, before what was happening, whenever we clicked on this, a border of black color was appearing here. Okay, so using pseudo classes we remove that outline and borders also. Okay, now we can reduce the margin top also, which is applied here. Okay, margin top of 10 pixels. Okay, and actually let's see why is so much gap here. For debugging, simple debugging, what I recommend you all, simply use a background color. Okay, apply a background color, you will automatically see how much space is it taking. Okay, and you can accordingly act. Okay, why is there so much spacing here? We remove the font size. No, it's not related to the font size. Actually let's use the span tag here. Let's see. Okay, so it was actually the paragraph tag. Okay, which was showing its default behavior. Okay, now there is some less spacing here. Okay, so what we want now is there should be more spacing in this one, in the form. Okay, so this is how you all can create a basic login form. Okay, and if we want, we can say here align items as center, so all the items get in the center. Okay, but here in what we want is that the label should be in the starting, so for that we can say text align as start. Let's see if it works. No, it's not working. Not working here. Okay, no worries, still can give it a width of 100%. Okay, and after that it will work. Okay, so this is the basic login form which we created. Okay, if you want, you can further customize it. okay, and make it like this. What we did here, we used the linear gradient. Where you can find the linear gradient, simply search for linear gradient here, linear gradient CSS, and you can generate your own linear gradients here. Okay, you can choose all the linear gradients and you can get the the gradient property. Okay, for example, let me show you one best example. Let's say I want the linear gradient like, what happened, something wrong. Okay, simply let's copy this linear gradient only. See, copy this to the clipboard, and where is the linear gradient applied here? In the outer container's background. Okay, so in order to apply it, we'll give the outer container background as this one. Okay, simply we'll paste that properties. Oh, sorry, yes, there is some issue with the website. Okay, it's not properly loaded. Okay, now it's working. This one and this we have. Okay, and the 100%. Okay, so we have something like this. Simply copied the CSS and we apply the CSS here. We got it. Okay, and in order to make the form look like this, we gave a background in the form as where we gave the light blue color, where we gave it directly, I guess. Okay, here in the login container, means this box which is containing all the login stuffs, we give the background color as white. Okay, and inside this we give an opacity of 0.3. Okay, so we have a property backdrop filter blur 10 pixels. Let's see if it works here. Okay, so I will tell you how we get that this effect here. Currently this is made by me in Tailwind. Okay, so I don't remember the exact properties of reducing the opacity, but still I'll let you know. Okay, currently this is the sign-in form, and let's keep the background color. Okay, got it here. Let's apply this. And here 0.3. Okay, we got it. Okay, so this is how you can do it. We use the RGBA. I hope everyone remembers what is RGBA. We studied about RGBA. Can anyone tell me what A means here? Anyone? Am I audible? Alpha, okay. We simply need to know that the alpha means opacity. Okay, whatever will be the tone of the color, whether it will be light tone or dark tone. So currently we are using the lighter tone of the 255, which means simply white. Okay, this is the white color 255. Okay, we're using the lightest tone of the white color 0.3. Okay, so we got something like this here. Okay, if you want more, you can 0.1. It won't look good. Okay, won't look exact like that. And also I guess we have a border here. Okay, we have a border here. So in order to apply that border, we will 1px solid CCC. Okay, so you got something like that here. Okay, and also the black text is not looking good, so we want lighter text. So for the text we can directly apply the font color here only, so that it applies globally. FF. Or 333. What is 33? No, not look good. Actually, let's make it gray. No. Let's use the RGBA property only. Okay, so now it's looking better. Also, in this submit, if you want to apply some special effects while hovering on the button, what you all can do is again use the pseudo class here only, or let's say we give it a class name that can target the pseudo class submit button. Where is the styling? Dot submit button. No, we don't want this. I already applied the CSS for a submit button. We want to target the hover class. Okay. Is it working? Submit button hover. Or let's copy all this styling, directly give it to the submit button here itself. Okay, so now it's working. Okay, if we want more smoother animation, give transform scale 1. Not here, not here. Whenever we hover, then we want that 1.1. Okay, so now it's scaling. Okay, these are some CSS, basic CSS. Basically what was our focus, to see the flexbox properties. Okay, so currently we saw the flexbox properties, and this is how we can work with a flexbox. Okay, let's see the responsiveness also, the form. If we see, if we collapse the screen also, then also it will be responsive. Okay, expand the screen, make the pixels increase more, then also will be same. Okay, so this is the power of flexbox. Okay, allow me a moment please. Okay, so let's continue. Next we have one more property of flex, that is flex grow. Okay, let's see what is flex grow. Flex grow dot html. Now inside the flex grow, if we apply the flex grow, what will happen? Items will be taking up extra spaces. Okay, what I'm trying to say is let's see it visually. Flex grow, inside the body we'll create the basic structure first. Let's first open it with live server. This is our empty page. Inside this I'll first give without flex grow. What happens? Okay, this is the default behavior, of course, of the flex box. Without flex grow default behavior. Okay, div dot flex container. Okay, and inside this divs with two class names, flex item and grow 0. Okay, dot grow 0. Want 3 of them, so okay, so inside both 3 of them we want this no grow. Now let's give the styling as dot flex container. We are designing the outer container, okay, in which the flex items are contained. So yeah, display flex background of light gray, padding of 20 pixels, margin also of 10 pixels, let's say. After that width will be 100%. See, this is the default property of flexbox. Focus on this one. Okay, background light gray. Why did this apply? What happened here? Let's give it a background color. Still not applying. Oh, actually we don't need to use the hyphen. Now it would apply. Okay, see, by default what's happening here, it's taking the width as full. Okay, full width. And see the default behavior of the items inside this div, it's acting like inline elements. Okay, it's taking that much space only which it requires to show the item. Okay, rest of the space is empty. Okay, now let's design the items also. Flex item means this one, the inside items which are showing as no grow. Okay, background color. Okay, so see, this is the default behavior. Means if we don't use the flex grow, or if we use the flex grow, it will act as same. Okay, because this is the default property of flexbox. Okay, if we don't use the flex grow will remain as 0. Okay, means I'll show you what is flex grow. Before that, let's simply give this the class name flex grow 0. Okay, if we don't apply this, it's the same thing. Okay, next we'll use one div with flex grow. Okay, what will happen in that? Let's see. With flex grow 1 equal distribution. Okay, copy the same thing here also, but here grow will be 1. Okay, what happens with grow 1? Let's see. Dot grow 1 see what happens here. Each and every item takes equal width. Okay, and means it the children takes entire width. Okay, and expand themselves. Okay, means equal distribution. Okay, due to this flex grow 1. Okay, the items take entire width and distribute the width among themselves. Okay, how whatever quantity of items there are inside the parent container, they will distribute the entire width, okay, among themselves. Okay, however the padding and margin will remain. Okay, means if we give the padding as 20 pixels and margin as 10 pixels, they will remain. Okay, see, currently the margin is being applied. Okay, even if they are equally distributing the entire width. Okay, see, so this is the thing. Next we have mixed flex grow values. Okay, now what will happen here? See, in this one, mixed flex grow values, herein we will apply the one second, I need to change this also. No, we are applying the grow as 1. Now herein what we will do is, in the first item we'll apply the grow as 1. Okay, in the second item we'll apply the grow as 2, which will be of course bigger than the first item. In the third item we'll again apply the grow as 1. Let's see now. Herein grow will be 2. Okay, let's give the grow as 2, giving the flex grow 2. See, now what happens, the larger the quantity of grow, okay, larger the number of grow, that item will take larger space. Okay, larger width, and the other two items which have a grow 1, they are taking lesser width. Okay, so more the grow, the more the space the item will take. Next, we have sidebar plus main content pattern. Okay, everyone knows what is a sidebar. What is a sidebar? May I know? Anyone? Hello? Pardon me? No, it's not the navbar. If you go here in YouTube, this is the sidebar. Okay, thing appearing from the side is called sidebar. Okay, so let's see, flex item dot grow 0. Okay, and sidebar the fixed width. Okay, so herein we'll give some more stylings into inline CSS. Flex basis of 200 pixels. Okay, we can proactively define the width of the child, okay, by using this. Next, we can also change the background, of course. So let's give a background of coral. Okay, now let's actually see this in another page. You all won't understand here. In order to create that sidebar, what we need to do, first of all, we need JavaScript, of course, because as soon as we click on that button, the hamburger button, the sidebar appears. Okay, for that we need JavaScript, but actually we need to design the sidebar, right? So how do we design that? Simply design it using flexbox only. Sidebar.html. Okay, inside this I'll use this, open with live server. Okay, and we need to, of course, give some properties like flex container, flex item, and grow 0. So for the flex container, what we gave was display was flex. Okay, something like this it was. Okay, let's not give some margin here, and also let's remove the default margin and padding first, because it's HTML margin 0, padding also 0, and we need to apply this in body also, of course. Yes, so this is the sidebar we are looking for. Okay, whenever I click on the sidebar, what happens, the sidebar appears like this. Okay, otherwise it's in a hidden state. Okay, means see what will happen basically using JavaScript. What we'll do, we'll simply change the class names only. Okay, see, by default it will be hidden. Okay, hidden means, see, this is the sidebar. Okay, and by default it will be visibility hidden. Okay, whenever we click on that, the visibility hidden will be removed. Okay, if we click on that this button, this one, the visibility hidden class will be removed. Okay, the styling will be removed and the sidebar will appear. Okay, it's as simple as that. Whenever we use JavaScript, we'll look into it. Okay, so this is the thing about the sidebar. Okay, what else? Display flex direction, actually this is not required, with 100%. Okay, and hide also is not required. Of course, when we will create the actual sidebar, then we will use this. Okay, height 100 view height. Okay, because the sidebar should appear in the entire screen, right? It should take the entire width. So yes, we will use the height and we will create the actual sidebar. So this was the logic about sidebar. Okay, and also see, now the sidebar appears as sidebar somewhat. Okay, if we remove this h3 also, see, now the sidebar looks as sidebar. okay. But the thing is that it should appear on the top, like for example, this is the main content inside, this is the flex container, okay, and inside the flex container there should be div with flex item and also grow one main content, okay. And let's actually apply the grow one class and flex item classes, okay. Currently it's not there, so inside the styling is the grow one, flex grow one, okay. And of course we need to make the outer child as display flex, okay, which is already, we applied it here. We need to design the flex item, okay. So for the flex item we'll use some basic properties which we use: text align as center, background as light blue, basic padding of 20 pixels, okay. So see, this was the thing, okay. And of course this won't appear here, the main content won't appear here in the center, okay. It will be in the background, like you see here the main content is still in the background, but on the top of the main content there is a sidebar appearing, okay. So we will see this, okay. We give some properties like position absolute and stuffs, okay, and we can create this, we can achieve this behavior, okay. So see, there are some sidebars, okay, in some websites which are fixed like this, okay, for the larger screens, but in the small screens they disappear, and you know, they appear like this only, okay, like a hamburger icon. So this is the perfect example of creating the sidebar, okay. Now let's move further and discuss about the flexbox shorthand property, okay. Flexbox shorthand property dot html, okay. Shorthand property. Now what is a shorthand property? Let's see. First let's create the basic structure: common flex patterns, okay, and now h4, see, you can use the flex as none, okay, means fixed size, no flexibility. Basically you know, for when we create a display flex, okay, and we don't want to use the flex property then due to some reason for that, okay, means the display flex will be hidden, okay, the flex property won't be applied, so that is flex none, okay. Fixed size, no flexibility, it will behaves by default. If it is an inline element, it will you know, behave like an inline element, or if it's a block element, it will behave like a block element, okay, when we apply this flex none. Let's see, div.flex container, okay, and inside this we'll create div with class name of flex item, flex item dot flex none, okay. fixed size, let's give some stylings here. Of course the flex none first of all, and before that I'd like to show you all that if we by default apply the flex container and give it a display of flex and background of light gray, and of course a padding of 20 pixels, margin of 10 pixels, and okay, and inside the items let's give some stylings to the items also. Background of light blue, and padding of 15 pixels, margin of 5 pixels, and in order to see whether they are segregated, let's add a border also so that they appear as individual. Let's add a blue border. Okay, and of course text aligner center. Okay, so see, currently the item is in display flex. Okay, means the default property of flex is being applied here. Okay, but if we apply the flex none property here, see what will happen. Dot flex none, and flex is none. Okay, so after this what will happen is they are no more flexible. Okay, we need to give them fixed width and height. Okay, see, now we need to give them a fixed width and height. Okay, but when we use flex 1, okay, here if we use the flex 1 property, what will happen? Fixed size, no flexibility, no, sorry, flex 1, and let's remove the width and the height. See, they will again take the entire width, okay, and distribute the space among themselves, okay, like the flex grow property. Okay, also there is a flex auto, means whatever the space will be, it will automatically take that space. Okay, and distribute the space among their children. Okay, in the flex 1 it will happen, see, the same thing. Okay, if we increase the number of child, see, it will equally distribute the spaces. Okay, next we have a flex basis also. Okay, so in the flex basis what will happen, we can predefine the width and the height. Okay, like 0, 0 and 200 pixels. See, now what will happen, we have predefined the the dimensions as 0, 0 and 200 pixels. Okay, so it's taking the 200 pixels of width. Okay, so these are flex shorthand properties. Okay, you can refer more to the shorthand properties in the MDN docs. Okay, flex shorthand props. See, here you will get to know all the shorthand properties, okay, with the demo. Okay, so I'm attaching the link here, flex shorthand shops. You can check it out later here. Okay, now let's actually create a basic project. Okay, with the flex navbar.html. Okay, everyone knows what is a navbar, the top thing which we see, in which we see the home, about, service, login button and stuffs. So first of all, we'll use the semantic element, which is the nav, and we'll give it a class of navbar. Okay, herein we can first of all put a logo. Okay, div.logo, and simply it will be a text. Okay, no images or stuffs. Let's create it simple. Okay, next actually need the links. Okay, so we'll use the unordered list, and we'll use the class name as nav links. Inside this there will be list of items with the anchor tag, of course, li about services contact. Okay, after that nav buttons, div dot nav buttons for, of course, login sign up. Okay, login and a similar sign up. Two buttons created. Okay, so now let's use the flex. Okay, so we'll style this using flex. Okay, so first of all we'll remove the default padding and margin here. Margin as 0, padding as 0. Okay, and we'll first of all style this outer container. Okay, currently this is not display flex, so each and every item you see here is appearing as a block element. Okay, taking the entire space. So let's make it display flex so they appear as inline elements. Display flex. Okay, now each and every item you see here is in horizontal direction due to the flex property. Justify content, let's say there should be a space between. Okay, so that this appears in the middle. Okay, and these the buttons here appear at the end and the logo appears in the starting. Okay, now you might be assuming that why is this still behaving like a block element, because it is inside the UL. Okay, so we haven't passed the display flex inside the UL. Okay, if we have passed the display flex in the nav bar. Okay, so the nav bar doesn't apply that display flex inside the UL tag. Okay, so we need to individually go to the UL, target the UL and make it display flex in order to remove this default block element property. We'll do that further later. First let's design the navbar. Align item center. Oops, align item center. Okay, so that the items are aligned vertically at the center. Okay, next we can give the background as hashtag 333. Padding, internal spacing, of course, which we can give as 1 rem and 2 rem. Okay, and color as white. Okay, and next we can design the logo. Font size we can give it as 1.5 rem. Font weight, let's keep it bold. Okay, and after that we'll actually create the design the UL. Okay, so for that we'll remove this default property which we see here, the bullets. Okay, for that we'll use this list style as none. Okay, and of course what I told you all, the display flex is currently not being applied in the UL, so we need to apply that here also. Okay, so we'll pass the display as flex, and of course if we don't apply the gap, see, each and every item inside the UL, the LIs are merged. Okay, in order to give some gap, we will use the gap property. There is some gap now. Okay, next we need to change the default property of the anchor tag. Okay, the things appearing blue here and then the underline, that is due to the anchor tag. So we'll use the nested CSS selector, nav links li a li a, and first of all we'll change the default font color, which will be white. Let's remove the underline with the text decoration as none. Next, first of all let me show you how much space they are taking. Okay, each elements background color is black. See, they are not taking ample amount of space, so in order to give them some spacings, okay, we'll give them padding. Now they are taking some spaces. Okay, and let's shorten this. Let's create it as MW my website. Okay, and after the padding we want that the border should be rounded. Okay, border radius as 4 pixels. Okay, now the radius is the borders are rounded. Okay, and we'll apply a transition. Okay, transition means I don't want a background color by default, but when I hover here, okay, then a background color should appear here. So for that I'm applying the transition to the background color. Okay, ease means the smoothness. Okay, there are many types of smooth properties, smoothness properties like ease in, ease out, ease in, out, ease. Okay, so you can whenever you practice you can see them yourselves. Okay, nav links, let's target the hover property and give the background color is #555. See, now whenever I hover on this, see, I'll get the background color. Okay, next at last we need to of course design the login sign up buttons also. So again this is a separate div. Okay, so what if we applied the display flex here, of course it's not going to apply in this div also. Okay, because this is a separate div, this is the child of this div. So in order to make this div as a display flex, means in order to apply the flex property to the children of this div, we need to make this div also as display flex. Okay, so we'll give nav button as display flex, and of course we want a gap here in between the buttons, so we'll give the gap also 1 rem. See, now the gap is being shown here. Okay, and after that at last we'll design the button dot button. Did we apply the button class here? No, we didn't apply, that's why it's not showing. Class as btn, and the first buttons class will be button login. then button sign up. Okay, great. So this is the basic navbar which we created. Okay, now this was all for today. Okay, and your task, see in the last screen it appears good. Okay, and the task is to create another navbar, okay, with a hamburger icon also, like the YouTube. Okay, if you see in the YouTube, see file picture. So if possible, create this navbar. Okay, any doubts for today? Okay, so share yesterday's task also on the group, and once created this navbar, share this navbar also on the group. Okay, share the resources in the group. Thank you.